It's a long-standing UA tradition that after the final trail on day 7, we gather at a local establishment for what's become known as the Victory Dinner.
So yeah, this is the Crony Awards for those of you that have not enjoyed one of these yet. It's basically, you get nothing but recognition. It is what it is, but this is all devised by the cronies. These are observations, you know, some of them are tongue-in-cheek, most of them we think are funny, so, it's, you know, whatever you guys do, whatever. So, let's see. Let's start out with, well, why wouldn't we? The presenting sponsor, Skyjacker, JR and Mike Graves. Right over there. So I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but like the car, you know, can be dusty at the end of the day and then mysteriously it's clean. How does that happen? You know, there's not, I mean, it's not a car wash at 10 o'clock at night in Truth or Consequences. How does that happen? Well, they are rather fastidious in nature in general, but they are also quite adept at driving their car. And so you guys get the Clean Award. Yes. All right. Next up, Evan and Joe. Where are you guys? There you go. All right. So as you guys know, Evan is JR's son. Evan is being groomed in many ways. I actually had a great conversation with Evan a couple days ago where I was like, you know, where have you been in the company? He's like, I've been everywhere. I spent a year in the machine shop. I was sweeping floors for a year. You know, probably cleaning toilets at one point. If I were in JR, I would absolutely have him do that. And then Joe, some of you guys may not know. We wish Dillard a good, get well soon, and things like that. But there's been kind of a substitute for Dillard, and Dillard was the jack of all trades. You know, kind of the Chuck Norris of Skyjacker, as it were. And with Dillard, unfortunately, getting sick, there were some big shoes to fill, and as does Evan has big shoes to fill. So these two together get the Filling Shoes Award. Yeah. So next up is Jeff Ismail and Joe Colombo. There's Jeff. There's Mr. Joe. So this is Joe's first trip. Jeff has been quite some time, but both of them have been like a kid in a candy store all week long. I mean, like, Jeff has practically been vibrating the entire time. And Joe has just been like, this is rad. This is really cool. So they get the Enthusiasm Award. All right. Zaid and Corey. Where's Zaid? There he is. All right, these two. I don't know if you guys know this, but the first UA that Zaid came on, it was like, would you shut up? I'm not, we couldn't pry words out of this boy, you know, and he has really come out of his shell. There was an absolutely amazing little segment that I overheard him shooting with our crew in a convenience store about a Supernova air freshener because the Scout 2 smelled bad, and you know how they can capture the smell of the universe in a fragrance. So, and then of course Corey. These guys get the Class Clown Award. All righty, next up, Riley and Stephen Watson. I think it is your first UA in the right seat, technically. Is that correct? I mean, I know you and Papa Watson shared duties, although we're transitioning that moniker despite his best efforts. I hear you. And then Riley, of course. Riley, this is your what? Second or third UA? Second. First behind the wheel. Riley brought it. I think we can all agree Riley absolutely brought it. Definitely living up to the expectations of both his dad and his grandpa. But these guys collectively, because James is the OG, and I don't, if you guys haven't met James, please do. He is a character in his own right. I have seen inappropriate private parts of this gentleman, just saying, on more than one occasion. But these two are just rock solid awesome, but they get the James Watson Award. And while we're at it, I'm going to skip around a little bit. Let's talk about James. James, thank you so much for coming down here. There were multiple requests for your presence here. We're what, 160 miles away from the house, something like that? Yeah. So I mean, we couldn't be this close and not have Senior James or Mr. James here, but James, because he did offshoot the Trash Panda, so we have dubbed James gets the Grand Panda Award. And then I could not, I would be remiss if I did not mention James' lovely wife Denise, who actually made the trip out here as well. You have never come with us on a UA, I don't think, but you flew in the day after in Alaska, and you and my wife and I, we all went to Kinnick and everything. That was a good time. So, you know, not many of you know Denise, but she's super rad. She's like the glue that holds ORD together. And she gets the Tolerance Award because you have to put up with these other characters. So, all right. Let's move on to Renee and Tiger. There you are. There you are. Renee and Tiger. Yeah. You know, I thought about doing like the bandit theme or whatever, but you know, I think we kind of beat that into the ground. So Tiger went legit rock crawling in a 20-pound van and fit it in a 5-pound hole consistently all week long. And the thing, I mean, it doesn't look the same as it did at the start of the trip, but it's still running, and he's gonna drive it home. So, but you two get the Shoehorn Award. Okay.
There's some over there if you want to.
Dave Eisenbell and Chelsea Foster. Over there in the corner. So these two not only are responsible, not really responsible, but they offer to do the care and feeding of our camera crew, which is a lot, can be very demanding or whatever, but they also hike a lot on foot, as you guys know. I mean, the camera van is very capable, but it's not capable of going, I think they would prefer it stay relatively straight, not look like tigers. So the only way to do that is maybe to get out and walk some. So these two, because they both came from Eastern Pennsylvania, they get the Mileage Award because they were not only, you know, the longest probably distance, but also the most on foot, right? And they also get the Helpful Award because they were always there to help the crew and really anybody else with anything they needed. So thank you guys. Let's see. Johnny and Amber. Johnny and Amber. You guys, so as you guys know, Woods Off-Road built the S120 that we barely had to turn a wrench on all week. Super solid. Your rig was also super solid. You know, so you guys, and as you guys may not know, Amber works on that stuff too. Like she's a legit wrencher, for real. So you guys get the Mr. Good Wrench Award this year. And then Roger Ouchley. Where's Mr. Roger? There he is. He is the truck driver for Skyjacker. And I think we can all agree that this year he managed to stuff that truck in places it absolutely did not belong. So he gets the best driver award. All right, so we're gonna move on to the readers. Let's see, the Bavarian manure wagon driver. Where are you guys? Oh, there you are. There you are. Where are they at? It's a payway thing. Sorry. So you guys, you know, the BMW still has all its glass. That's amazing. I would have probably lost that bet. I'm just saying. But it's a little scratched up, but it's, you know what? It's none the worse for wear. That thing is absolutely amazing. I don't know if you guys ever had a chance to actually look at it, look under it especially. It is amazing. It is an amazing, amazing, amazing vehicle. And you survived the trip. I think you really had a pretty steep learning curve this week. But you met it, and you're here to tell about it, which is super rad. So, but we can't get over the fact that you are driving a BMW X5. So you get the Soccer Mom Award, but you also get the Best Engineered Award. All right, Brandon and Corey Carroll. Where are you guys? Right there. Ah, there you are. All right. So those of you that were involved with last year, Brandon brought a rather interesting character. I think it's your cousin, right? Popo. And Popo was probably one of the most memorable people I think I've ever met. You thought Corey is funny. This guy was next level. But he was also a rather large white dude. So this year he brought his lovely wife, Corey. So he gets the most improved co-driver award. So, all right, Greg Smith and Victoria Vic. There you guys are. I tell you what, you guys had a rough week. You guys had a rough week. You really did. But what impressed me most is that you kept trying, you kept fixing it, you kept showing back up, and you were there. I mean, you didn't throw in the towel. You could have thrown in the towel. You could have done it any time you wanted to. It's not a competition, but you kept at it, and I love that. And you get the Perseverance Award. Oh, but there is one other one that was also I couldn't pass up. If you don't know, Greg went through a lot of fans, like fans, radiator fans. So the OnlyFans Award as well. All right, I'm gonna come back to that one in a little while. Don't let me forget about the last award if I haven't done it. So let's next go to Trask and Tim in the F350. Yes. I tell you, those Montana boys, I guess, know how to wheel after all. You know, I really didn't know what to expect. I mean, it's a giant F350, you know, saws all the fenders, but you know what? It's a beautiful recipe. 460, 5-speed. It's already got 1 tons. You just cut fenders, add a little bit of lift, lockers, and go. And that was a great recipe that he proved actually works and absolutely brought it this year. So it just goes to show you that a big-ass truck can work, so you get the Big-Ass Truck Award. And then one follow-up on that, I think Trask himself, correct me if I'm wrong, have you ever been this heavy rock crawling before? Oh, no. Yeah. I think Trask himself is even like, wow, this truck can do this? It's like, yeah. And so he also gets the most pleasantly surprised award as well. All right, James and Jessica Jenkins. Over there, yeah. You know, this might be the biggest year we've ever had with husband and wife teams, I think, which is awesome. Not saying, you know, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think it's awesome. Certainly improves the aesthetic on the trail, if nothing else. But you guys, you know, if you guys had a chance to really watch this guy, which you did probably throughout the week once or twice or whatever, he didn't really mess around. I mean, we're getting it done, and we're getting it done quickly. And so you get the Bring It Award. Yeah. 'Cause you were bringing it pretty much the entire time. So, all right, Colt. There's Mr. Colt. So Colt was kind enough to guide us, and some of you may or may not know, I had marked some trailheads and stuff in Farmington. I had every intention of getting back. Schedules and travel and everything caught up with me. I actually had to lean on Colt pretty hard because I wasn't able to get back there and personally like look at the trails. It had been 15 years probably since I'd been on the waterfall, but I trusted him. And you know, he knew he's a UA alum himself, so I trusted his judgment, and it worked out perfectly. I think we had a fantastic day in Farmington, and he even came up here to Montrose because I didn't know if we just cleaned die trying. It's like, okay, well, I need another trail to do, and the only other one that I'm really familiar with is way too long to do, you know, in a few hours or whatever. So he was just kind of here on standby, here to back up if somebody needed parts, get back to town or whatever, but glad to have you here, Colt. But nevertheless, you showed up here in a buggy, you know, and so he gets the cheater award. And truth be told, it was per my request, but anyway, that's beside the point. You still get the cheater award. So, all right, let's move on to the camera crew. That guy and that guy. And I don't know where the other one is. So, I'm going to do this. All right, so Nick. Where's Nick? Bing bong. Yeah. Nick, as you guys know, Nick was, Nick did many things and ran a lot of, but his primary thing was the drone. And he ran the drone amazing. But what you guys, you new people may not know is that we had an absolutely amazeballs drone operator last year. We lined up all the cars on the trip, of which there were 28. 28. And we lined them up window to window, and this crazy sumbitch drove the drone, or flew the drone all through all 28 windows. That's a high bar. Like, that is a high bar. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, and Niemer, he couldn't join us because he was not only in a wedding, he was officiating a wedding. Whatever. I told him to change the wedding, but he didn't let it. So Nick had some really big shoes to fill, and based on some of the shots that I've seen so far, more than got it. So, but regardless, you had some really big shoes to fill this year, sir, so you get the Niemer Award. Huh? Yeah. All right, next up is Ben. Ben is right behind the camera. Ben, you know, every time I turn around and I would, wow, that'd be a pretty cool shot. I'd look 5 degrees to the right and he's shooting. And like, he was just Johnny on the spot the whole time. Like, and always had a smile on his face, just like he does now. Always just raring to go. So you get the Johnny on the Shot Award. Yep. And then Mr. Ryan. Oh, Ryan. You know, Christian and I, when we decided to do this, we decided early on that we needed, one of the things we could not scrimp on was production value. And there was only one guy that we could think of to pull it off for us. And that was Ryan. And Ryan has been a valuable partner in so many ways that you guys really don't know about. and isn't worth really getting into because it's not important. Just know that this guy has our backs. Has never been, I have never had a more supportive member of the video film community that is as amazingly talented as this guy is. He is going to be the one that's cutting this all together. So, right. But he also hasn't been able to join us on the last couple. He's been on other shoots, and so there's been a substitute producer that's been on site or whatever. So it's the first time in a few years that we've actually had Ryan back with us, and I love it. I love working with him. And I hate to do this to you, but you get the Harrington Award. Most improved Harrington Award. There you go. There you go. All right. So what was my note here? Intern. Oh, okay. Oh, Roscoe. Yeah.
Was it just the Tom Boyd Award that you were?
Yeah, that was the last one. Okay, so we've only got a couple of left here. Roscoe. There is Roscoe. And then Caleb. Where's Caleb? So for the first time in a long time, we had a couple of open seats. And so it used to be cronies occasionally could bring a friend, a buddy. And honestly, that's how Sam became a crony. That's how Vern became a crony. That's how, and so it's happened kind of organically over the years. But it hasn't happened in a long time because we have so many seats to fill. All camera crew and things like that. So Roscoe and Caleb are really the first invited friends that have come on the trip for some time. In Roscoe's case, Roscoe's also driving Miss Daisy. But you guys both of you get the Crony and Intern Award. All right, so there's one guy that I haven't talked about yet, and we always save the best for last. So we have what is called the Tom Boyd Award, and Tommy is Tommy. Tommy's been around for he's the only other guy that's been on all 25 of these things. And the one is me, one is him. And Tommy is a goofball, and Tommy's Tommy. We all know what Tommy is. But at the end of the day, Tommy is really in many ways like the spirit of this event. He brings the fun, he brings the helpfulness when it's needed. He's really that Tommy's spirit is what drives this thing in many different ways. And so every year we award somebody the Tom Boyd Award, and it's a very it's a prestigious thing. It really is. And so Bobby McGrath and Stephen Baines are invited readers. Both of these guys were just smiles all the time, helpful in any way that they could be, didn't get mad when the alternator failed or whatever. You just did it. Brought it on big stuff, wasn't afraid to try anything. So you guys this year, you get the Tom Boyd Award. Right. So you need to work on your Samuel Clemens imitation / Mark Twain. Work on that. / Einstein. Some combination thereof. There you go. So that's it, guys.
Well, a couple things of housekeeping, and then we'll do that.
I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah, we've got that. Actually, let's do this now. Tommy. This is all Tommy.
That's not.
Tommy's idea.
Tommy's idea.
So
It's a blanket.
it's a blanket, and someone's gonna get it. I met Lonnie Sr. on the second UA. He went up to BC with us from British Columbia, and I really liked the way he handled himself, his manners and everything else. And then we met Junior. Junior, when did you first come?
Yeah.
All right. No, his father was on 01, so you were on 02. So I've been on a lot of trips with Ronnie, and he's someone that I've always looked up to, and even though he's younger. Just the way he's raised his family, the way he handles himself, you'll never hear anything negative out of that man. It was just, he's God's gift. So what do you give someone that has everything, that stepped up to the plate on the first event that is coming from the UA? So this is the first of our 25th on their 50th anniversary. And there's only one little thing I'm jealous about from anyone around, and it's to have a matchbox made of your rigs. And how do you display the matchboxes?
All right.
That's cool.
So I've had this for 8 years. It's double-sided, so you can spin it around, and it has rock crawling attributes in there. They got magnets, so you can put all your things on there, take them apart. But I've had it for 8 years, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I didn't want to make something and give it away and never be able to have someone enjoy it that I knew. And I present this with these two here to thank you for being the sponsor and for being first.
I think all that's left now is to wish Norma a happy anniversary.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this, Jeff?
Here's how I like to do it. Let's get it.
Happy
anniversary! It was amazing.
UA 2024 brought many changes to the way UA coverage is delivered in both quality and quantity. This year, we've created over 5 hours of actual UA event content, not to mention several pre-event videos highlighting the Hemi National build, listing our invited readers, and explaining the shift in name to Unreal Adventure. And that's not including the Adventure Media podcasts, which often revolve around UA-specific topics. And we're already working on next year. Plan on seeing more of the same high-quality production value for Unreal Adventure 2025. And between then and now, some more UA 2024 video surprises. So be sure to subscribe to the Unreal Adventure YouTube channel so you don't miss anything. And if you think you'd like to be a part of UA 2025 or beyond, go to unreal-adventure.com and apply online. We'd love to hit the trail with you.